I printed this email out about the AREPA funds.
I don't want to start.
I code around my car.
Say the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Gonna do roll call. Rhonda.
Here.
Christy.
Here.
Bill.
Here.
Dave. Here. Patty.
Here.
John. Here. Myself. Here. Tom. Previous minutes. Anybody read the minutes for the last one? Need a motion on the floor to accept them. Somebody need to look at them or make any questions or comments.
Motion.
August 11th.
I'll second.
Who will do motion?
Bill.
Bill. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, we're gonna do reading and approval of bills and payments, administration.
PM Trust. Hold on, there's no price. That wasn't supposed to be on there. Go next. Chase, One Drive, $7.41. Stewart Hall, $1,053.85. Comcast, $134.70. Code Inspections, $119.50. Pencore Consulting, $1,000. Express, $18.60. For a total of $2,334.06.
We're gonna go to building.
Okay, PP&L, $196.90. UGI, $26.82. No disposal, $125. Tony's Hardware, $217.46. And the general dollar, $31.35. Total, $596.72.
Alright, we're gonna go to police.
USDA police car loan, $234. Verizon, $132.53, that's paid. Chase for car wash, $10, that's also paid. Chase for phone and office equipment, $242.94, and that's also paid already. Comcast, $277.04. Wex, $212.92. Stewart Hall, $319. Eckert and Seaman, $229.50. Mergas LLC, $648. YCG Inc., $49, for a total of $2,354.93.
Okay, now we're gonna go to street.
USDA dump truck loan, $206. USDA pocket truck loan, $144. PP&L, a new service for the recycling area, has been paid, $285. Wex Sunoco, $325.46. Lowe's, $109.96. Tony's Hardware, $126.80. PP&L Garages, $65. PP&L Highway 8, $33.94. PP&L Highway 8, $110.96. PP&L Highway 8, $1,848.45, for the total of $3,255.57.
Parks, nothing.
PP&L, $131.27.
Oh, what it is.
Wex Sunoco, $111.13. Tony's Hardware, $196.46. Penny Electric, $402.36. And Lowe's, $1,744.53. Murray Gas LLC, final payment for camera system, $2,700. with a total of $5,285.75. Paint, no money,
Paint,
paint,
you got the paint.
that's the paint.
Okay.
That's for the
You
tennis
know what it
court.
was?
Okay. Is that a little?
Well, that was the paint for the, up there plus,
Curves and stuff.
for, you know,
There are the Denny Electric was also, just the Denny Electric stuff, I believe, and most of that was for the
camera system, yes.
Recycle that.
Yes.
She's coming right here.
Okay. Need a motion on the floor, pay the bill.
I make a motion, we have the monies to pay the bills.
I'll second it.
John? All in favor?
Aye.
Somebody opposed? Okay, now we're gonna go to the gallery, marine roll.
Could I please refer to later, because my question actually is on your agenda? Can I refer to them to ask the question?
I prefer not.
I guess I'm looking at the lawyer. Is there a reason why I couldn't withhold my question till later?
The president has indicated she'd prefer to have all the comments made in this section of the meeting so it's not disruptive. You have an opportunity to speak now, and that's what we're required to give is an opportunity.
I'll let that be on the record, thank you.
Monthly correspondence to council. Code Inspections Incorporated provided council with the monthly report for July 2021, along with a check for $27.60 in municipal fees. Victor Foley submitted his resignation as ordinance officer effective October 1st, 2021. Jared Welch notified council he is resigning from his position on the UC IPMC Board of Appeals for personal reasons. Solicitor Hall sent council a copy of Judge Salisbury's August 24, 21 order approving the proposed distribution of the proceeds from the recent repository sale. USDA notified council they received payment in full for the 2014 Dodge Charger in the amount of $3,650.01 on December 9, 2020. The title has been signed and dated to remove USDA as a lien holder. The grant will still remain in effect until the vehicle's value falls below $5,000. Wayne Township Landfill notified council with a minimal charge they can now provide hauling services to the borough to assist with fall leaf waste cleanup. There is no charge to use your own hauler and dump leaves at the Wood Recycling Center. Thank you. Renovo Borough Water Authority sent council the minutes from the July 20, 2021 meeting. And the Western Clinton County Municipal Authority sent council the minutes from the August 4, 2021 meeting. There's your correspondence. And now I'm going to move over to the mayor's report.
President, Council, Solicitor Short, those in the gallery, thank you. I've got a couple things. The first one I want to disclose is that we had returned all of Officer Jeffrey's personal items to him. I believe that that topic is since been concluded. So I have a couple questions maybe towards council. The first one is with the resignation that you're going to motion later on in the meeting to possibly accept with Victor Foley resigning as the ordinance officer. I'm just kind of curious if we're going to try and entertain getting another ordinance officer to replace him, or is it going to be where we're going to rely on our officers of the police department to inflict ordinances solely? Just kind of a question I'm kind of thinking in my mind. And the reason I'm asking is it kind of leads into my next subject where, you know, I feel we're very lightly staffed with a part-time chief and a part-time officer, which is Victor Foley, excuse me. With his main role as an officer at Lock Haven University, excuse me, his ability to provide service to our municipality is minimal at times. He goes in spurts. And I can't say enough where we need to hire more officers. I know we've been talking about it, kicking around, but this is the time where we need to start pushing that forward faster and more accelerated rate, so we can build the force up, provide us the adequate service to our municipality that we need, because I feel like we're not there with what we have now, 2 part-timers. And I think the ordinances are going to suffer because of it right now. We no longer have an ordinance officer, and I can barely maintain the proper police protection of our municipality in Chapman Township. And also cover ordinances, and with the potential in the future to possibly provide service to South Renovo. I just, not trying to beat a dead horse, excuse my language, but we really need to accelerate getting more officers on our police department, whether it's multiple part-timers, making our chief and Victor full-time so they can present themselves more here on a more timely basis. I just want to bring that to everybody's attention. My thoughts on it. So moving on, the chief may have been going to bring this up, but I'm just going to voice it now. We had the Crown Vic gas tank fall off.
You want me to talk about it?
Yeah, you know, probably know more than I do.
Well, so far it's $0. So Marcus had to repair the rear door locks weren't working and the windows weren't functional either in the rear, so all that needed repaired prior to inspection. However, after that got fixed, the next day I woke up with the gas tank sitting beneath it in the road. So that is currently at Murray Motors being fixed. I talked to them. They said that all they see wrong with it right now is just the gas tank straps. So they're going to strap it back up, give it the once over to make sure it's good to go to this emergency vehicle, and it should be back ready to roll. And Martin Motors donated the tow fee, so they towed it for donation to the borough.
So we can send them a thank you letter?
Yeah, that's great to hear.
Yeah, we would like to do that.
Yep. So they.
You get the address and whatever.
Yep. Yeah. So they towed it and basically wrote it off as a donation to the borough, and it's sitting at Marine Motors now, waiting for the straps to arrive to have the gas tank strapped back up into place, and it'll be back up here.
Back in service.
Yep.
Thank you, Chief.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate that. And not to steal Christie's thunder, but she brought to my attention that we'll need to, go ahead.
No,
Go ahead. We need to get the, our retired K-9 unit, Jordan, formally transferred over into the ownership of,
how do we do that?
Jeffrey.
we should probably send Mike a letter just saying that right now that the lifetime license is in the Renovo Borough's name, that he'll have to come in, and I know I'm there, so I know when he
He'll
comes
come into
in.
you?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, so he'll just pay $1 to transfer it into his name.
Oh, okay.
$1.45.
That'd be something that Marcia would notify him, the requirements, or what
Yeah.
we need to do, so sounds great. And spoke of a few things, some good, some bad. But I just want to leave on a good note, and I want to give some recognitions. And the first one I want to start off with is our chief of police. And I think he's been here for a short time. He took kind of like the bull by the horns. Has been doing a fabulous job thus far, and I know he'll continue to do so. Some of the things that really impressed me is his communication with me as mayor. He notified me of different situations, keeping me abreast of what's transpiring. Called me with the littlest question. I think I text and talk to the chief sometimes more than my own wife. But I think we're he's growing on us, he's growing on me. I think we're starting to get a good relationship. And the second thing is just his community involvement. I'm kind of impressed with the way that people come to me and they speak highly of the chief and how he's showing a presence, carrying on conversations, and becoming, more rooted within our community. I'm appreciative of that. So moving on. This is an election year. I could possibly not be here next year, and other members of council possibly. But I just want to leave, just with everybody. I think this is one of the best working councils that the only council I've ever dealt with, per se. I've been involved with this. I was kind of thinking about this as I was driving home from work today. Upwards of 8 years now. I was appointed back in 2014, and then was elected for a 4-year term and served 3 of them as a council member before resigning to become mayor. And this is my 4th year as mayor. And it's just been a privilege for me as mayor to have worked with all of you, and you, Stuart, and Marcia, and Carrie, and the chief, and so forth. I think great minds think alike, and I think we have all common goals, and we work well together, and we have a good effort moving forward. We've done great things, and you have great forethoughts of what you want to do in the future, and I can't speak highly enough of how this group works together. So I'll end it at that. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll move right along, we'll go to committee reports, administration.
Okay.
You're up, Ron. You don't have to go through all of them if you don't
That's
want
fine.
to.
I just want to mention our checking account balance. Currently, after the payment of tonight's bills, $71,594.77. And in August, we received $10,865.77 in real estate tax, earned income tax of $2,330.64, and August delinquent tax of $14,662.20. So that's promising.
Yeah, how about it?
This is also the beginning of budget season. So I and Christy and Andrew and I and Marcia, we will be meeting in the next few weeks. So if you have a wish list or just ideas for your committees, please turn that in to one of us or to Marcia. Because we have to start to crunch the numbers for next year and anything else that's of importance.
So we've been running consecutive balanced budgets.
For one,
You guys do a great job on that. And how many years do you think you've been accomplishing that?
After our first year, when I wouldn't let you guys touch a dime.
What do you say, like
Remember?
2012 or 13 or so?
14 came
14?
on.
Yeah.
I came on.
Balanced budget's that long.
Yeah. And
Well, the first
I wanted
year
to
we
do
did,
the
yeah.
tax.
That's
I
an
wanted to give
accomplishment.
I wanted to lower the tax, and that is still on my
No,
goal
you wanted
list.
to- yeah,
I
you
wanted to
did.
Yeah,
lower
lower
the
the millage.
millage,
No.
but with everything going on this past year, but I'm still hopeful that one of these, either this year or next, that we could do that
Make
for
it-
our
make it
taxpayers.
10-year plan.
Yes, so that is my goal to
We're not
lower
out of the
it.
woods yet.
I know, but
I mean, the minute amount of money that we have to run this borough on and to keep a balanced budget for that long of a duration is not increase taxes. It's even hard to pass. It really
well,
is.
we did
We got out of
increase a little bit.
$100,000 debt the first year.
Right, you jumped through,
And we
you
did.
really have.
Place was a mess. We fixed it.
Yeah, there was a lot
I'm not to
that,
dwell on the
even
past.
being on council, that I was unaware of that went on.
Yeah.
So,
We need some roads paved.
yes,
We need some roads.
We're
definitely.
getting there.
But that's all that I have for administration,
Well, I'm just saying,
unless
before
anyone
you-
else.
You're getting your street paved.
Do you know of anything else? That we need to include right now?
I don't know. Police and fire, does anybody have anything? Tommy went over some of it.
you deal with the police force, that's your.
We're gonna have to get to that.
I just wanted to make sure that Chief Simpson knows the dates for Lenny Foliage, October 8th, 9th, and 10th.
He's on it.
Okay.
I'm putting a tent out in the front yard here, I'm hanging out for the weekend.
The biggest thing will be all the congestion.
You know, we're reaching out to some other agencies, like normal, the sheriff will have some people up here. And hopefully I'll be here for the weekend, and hopefully Victor will be too. So.
Yeah, we really need the help mostly too on Saturday with traffic control.
I'll bring your bag of candy for the parade.
We need more than one bag.
I didn't say how big the bag
I usually sell out Renovo, so you better get it on your way
you better
here.
get it in or something. Anybody have anything else about police and fire? When you're the building's health and sanitation?
It was building, there was just like you were talking about complaints and things. Well, I'm just want to know that people know how we're gonna enforce that to fix up, to build, how we're gonna build them and fix them up.
I'm gonna meet with Victor and Marquand next time he's here, or she's gonna call me so I can shoot right up. We're gonna see what we can do about at least 2 of them for starts.
Yeah, well, I just said there was just a question.
Yeah,
I was asking, I said, I'll check on it and see.
I don't know what can be done as far, you put a warrant out for them, they're living in Florida, you're gonna go get them.
I know, that's the reason I'm asking.
You know, and they reject all your registered mail from the magistrates and everything, it's a lost cause, it's just
We need Bob the
ridiculous.
bounty hunter.
Yeah, I don't know what, I'm gonna go over it with Victor and see what we can do.
There was a new law passed, before anybody bids at an upset sale or a judicial sale. Do you guys know about that?
No.
They have to file for registration for the sale. So there's an application that you have to fill out, and you have to pay a $20 fee. And that person's name or business name will get sent to every municipality in Pennsylvania. And if they owe taxes or have any liens or anything, they owe any other county money, they cannot bid at the tax sale or any.
When did this come out? How come we don't
August
get
26th.
anything with this?
And that was signed into law.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's excellent.
It's still, some of it's still kind of unknown. I guess there's nothing in the law that, if somebody comes in and bids, there's nothing in the law that says you're gonna go to jail because you bid on a property.
Right.
So I guess it
But
would
it
be up
might
to the
deter,
counties.
it might deter people from bidding if they're not one
So
hundred
like
percent certain that they're gonna
county's
do
not
something.
gonna let them bid on it?
Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work. I'm not
Where do we look this up?
They should use that $20 in background
Can you
checks,
send me
financial
some?
checks on these people.
That's
Yeah. So right now, I think Clinton County only has 2 people that have signed up for our upset sale.
Okay.
So you sign up once and then you're good?
No, you have to
Sale.
re-register for every sale. So the judicial, or the repository sale, you always have had to sign an affidavit, but it never went out to anybody. So now, it's not supposed to. You just sign the affidavit saying that you don't owe anybody any money. But now it actually goes out to every county because there's so many landlords that buy properties here, there, and everywhere, and then they don't pay their taxes or whatever. They don't keep up with the property.
They're
or-
not even from the state.
Yeah, I don't know what
You
happens
know
then.
that.
Yeah. But if they have a place in
That
Philly,
has
then
something.
I just wanted to add on that this is the first year since I've been doing it for, 38 years? 38 years. I've been doing it, and I just want to add on there, this is the first time for tax sale that I've had 17. Usually it's 30 or more.
Oh,
We're down to 17, so a lot of people are paying their taxes.
we have a lot on repository there too.
I don't get a list. I don't know why
Not
I
for
don't get a list.
repositories online,
Oh, you guys don't send me a list?
not for repository.
You have to go online or I can show you where to go.
I can send you a list if you want one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's.
Good to know. Get to streets and parks. Anybody have anything? I do a little bit. I know Vinny's struggling
It is
because,
really strongly rated.
Leon keeps taking off. He was off Friday, Monday, all days.
Is
Tuesday,
he
he
okay?
was off, how many days in 11 in
Takes
July and 6 last month, and
6 days.
I mean, taking it with no pay, but that's cutting, we have venue, that's it. So, yeah,
And cold winters, or cold weather's coming, there's things that
We'll
need
get
to be
to
done
that.
before.
Dave researched a couple of the applications we had and that, and we come up with one, the kid's willing to work for us, and then come back next year. And it'd be like, say, from April 1st to October 31st. Then say if you needed them, because Liam don't want to come in during the winter, plowing and shoveling and snow blowing and stuff.
That's how we've always done it.
He just,
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, to have somebody
So-
available like that, right. He needs help, I mean, my goodness, the way the summer's been with the heat and the rain and the grass growing.
we did motion last month to hire somebody.
Yes, we did.
Okay, so, you know, we'll get to that too. That's the only thing I have, like, for streets and parks myself, you do. I mean, it's a struggle, then you got all the wires up for the security cameras, for the parks, the dumpster area. Steve will be up to put the cameras in, I guess, so,
Yeah, I really like the new recycling spot.
Yeah.
Very convenient.
Yeah.
Drop your stuff off, go shop at Dollar General. You need it.
Do we have to cut the grass and make sure the weeds.
Well, then he will around it. And
Yeah.
then, you know,
I was just
clean it
thinking
up,
snakes,
The snow and everything.
because that will be,
Yeah, we're not gonna make Jimmy
The light
Dremel
would be
do it
nice
because he's
because of
letting
us
us use the
Yeah.
property,
Yeah,
so
okay.
it should be
that's what I
us.
figured, yeah.
Can we get some
That's what
help?
causes us to, you know.
It's not.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean,
that's
nobody
why
should be in there
people
after dark
going out late
anyway.
at night to dump recycle stuff.
So it's even a struggle getting the parks cut and everything, so we'll see what we can do. Ordinances. Victor is not here, he's probably working. They don't have very many people down there, they're working them 7 days a week. So, I mean, that's why he's having a hard time working up here. We'll get to that too.
Well, I think Rhonda did send some firework ordinance information.
Sorry.
I did
It was
need that.
the late hour last night. I was
Right.
on the road for tennis. So,
We're driving.
oh no, I was home when I sent it, but I mean, I kept finding like little snippets, and I mean, I really think maybe we should join in and writing our legislators, you know, saying that we oppose that the 2017, the state law. And that was my question for Stuart. One of those snippets, I think it was Wilkes-Barre or Scranton, they said their hands were really tied because it is a state law. So how do you interpret that, Stuart? Can we write an ordinance that goes against what the state law states?
No, I mean, there's
Okay.
a preemption from the state as
But 150 feet, I really don't see anywhere in the borough that would be, because streets are ours, it can't be on public. It's, on the state police website and on
And what
the,
you're saying is we can't have our own ordinance, you have to go by the state ordinance? Is that what you mean?
that's what I questioned. It doesn't sound like we can do away with them because it is a state law, as long as they're bottle rockets and whatever the explosives are, you know, just so they're not commercial grade. But what about a time frame? Like some of those, like North Huntington, that one thing I sent, it was only till like 10 or 11 o'clock. Can we put a time frame on it?
as long as, and I didn't have a chance to look at it.
Okay, but yeah, we're obviously not gonna vote on anything tonight, but it was passed in 2017, which I included that, you know, what bill, what number it was, I can't remember, but, like Scranton, they felt their hands were tied because of it being a state law. Like they sounded like they wanted to do away with having them discharged, you know, within their city limits. So, you know, if we could curtail it by setting time limits, and it is enforceable that if you see someone throwing it out of the vehicle, if they're under 18, public streets, any public property you cannot set off without, you know, permission. The 150 feet was within an occupied building, I
I
believe.
think so.
Yeah.
Private
So,
property.
and you can confiscate, I believe, the fireworks if you catch someone. I believe that was one of the
That's evidence, you can
stipulations.
take it as evidence.
Okay, but I mean, they had it all like spelled out in black and white for those of us that don't understand what they're reading. But, so yeah, if maybe you could see if we can just set at least a time so they're not being discharged at midnight, 1 a.m.
Well, that's when we had
Yes.
Nancy, you know.
Yes.
The ordinance committee, that was our thing. They do the fireworks on the day that's designated the 4th.
I'm not sure the noise ordinance off the top of my head, how ours is written. But like with this being a
It's
state
still
law,
more
I
than
was like,
10 o'clock in the morning.
yeah,
Whether it's a state law or
yeah, maybe that would be the way to get around it, because you're not like banning them altogether, but you give your time to be able to use them.
We had suggested that the day that the 4th is celebrated, that's the day that the fireworks can be set off. And then the other thing we wanted to add to it is by 11 p.m. that night, they're done. Because there are people that could have to get up and go to work.
Yes, and I never thought about the PTSD, or is that how you say it? PTSD. Yeah, that like veterans and people, how scary that is.
Right.
You know, and people with mental health issues. I should have, but I never, as I was reading all of that, I thought, oh my gosh, those poor people to have, that's terrible. I mean, the poor animals, but poor people that
And especially when it goes on for a month and a half.
Yes.
You know, like a month before and a half a month. Well,
Yeah.
we were setting them off in East Renovo last week.
Oh, I
They were
heard some
setting
of
them off
the
across the
weekends.
street from me last night.
We definitely need to revisit this, but just so that we get something that, you know, stands up if we ever, you know, had to go forward and make an arrest. So,
Tommy,
Yeah, they were right beside me.
you did it once. Bad proof. Right, so we're gonna have that looked into and see what we can do. Grants. Carries up.
I met with Darren Stover today, and we discussed 9th Street for paving. There's no drains at St. Clair, and really can't be added.
There's one on your side of the street.
There's one on, by the magistrates on his side.
Oh, on Erie Avenue though.
Right.
Oh, that's the only one.
was
There's none on
concrete.
your
It was-
side?
It was,
Filled in.
yeah,
Wait, there's none on your side though, is there?
No,
No,
I
that's it.
think, you mean by the alley?
Yes.
Okay.
But if the, where Erie Avenue,
no, Ashley said they filled.
9th Street come together, the bricks are showing through, and when you look at it, it's kind of humped. I mean, so he's gonna try to get it so that it's level there, and also adding handicap ramps to it. So we're hoping that all of this will fit under the amount that's available. It looks pretty good. Some of the stuff that the engineer had proposed before said about milling like 4 inches off. We're kind of suspicious if it's really 4 inches. He said maybe down towards your house, Christy, or something. It may be deeper as you go down. So trying to get it to put like base down, and then the top over so that it lasts for a really long time, and we have a good product when we're done. So Darren is working on that scope of work, and that will go to the county when it's done. What day are we putting it out?
The 11th. But that's on here.
So it's gonna be advertised on the 11th. Hopefully we get people bid on it.
Later, right? Yeah.
If people are, wanting work, we'll get bids. If they're kind of done for the season, we may not.
Yeah, we have it here.
We've been through this, and we're estimating the paving will be open until like Thanksgiving. So hopefully people want to do this. I'd love to get it done this year.
Like your stuff with it till April. Or later.
I bring it up every meeting that the ERAP fund, I got a phone call the other day asking me questions about it. Anybody that rents, we got more money at the county. It's called like phase 2. So please, encourage people to apply.
I see that it keeps advertising, but it doesn't matter, people aren't using it, why? Especially if you rent.
Berkshire Hathaway now has a grant. Did you hear about it? So I can send it. It's another community type thing. We have any projects? And it's not like the matching requirements type things. Clinton County Community Foundation is opening October 15th. And it'll be open until December 15th. Last year we got cameras. Right, Marcia? Yeah. I don't know if you guys have a plan for this year.
Anybody?
We have time to think about it, but that's no match.
October 15th, you
Community
said.
stuff, yeah.
So what about street signs and poles, like we did on Ontario, continuing on in Erie?
Can you get some quotes and?
We had some,
Or you mean like the one you want from down Back Street?
Yeah, but maybe we could find a better price.
Yeah, but you might be able to do 3 or 4 of them for a start. How much do they get?
Yeah, I love those down there.
How much do they get for like 3 days?
It depends.
Weren't they?
Was that because with installation though?
Probably.
I thought we were 800 and something for pole itself.
These?
They were Capital Streetscapes.
The fancy
Never
ones
mind,
are
it's
cheap.
the lights that are 38.
Yeah, I think, I wanna say like 897.
Oh, that's
If
not
you-
bad.
But if you bought, I think more than, that was a single price, I mean, it did get, I think, a little bit better.
In a couple of
But
years, get
that
a
was
new
last,
quote,
that,
yeah.
that was last fall, we looked into it.
So if you wanna do that,
Yeah.
get some quotes and then you can figure
You're
out how
on,
many.
you're on that
Even
one.
if you only do a couple streets this year, a couple streets next year,
Mhm.
make it smaller grants. There is money at the Fish and Boat for boat launches and fishing areas. I know we have our boat launch, but if you know anywhere else that you want to put one or a fishing area or something, it's not open yet. I have gotten notification that it's going to be open. So,
How did Brewery run
For what?
for, I know you have to cross the tracks, for a boat launch?
oh, you mean
Because a lot of kids go up to the Eddy, and that's dangerous there they park in the Green Lantern parking lot and cross over and go down in there.
Yeti.
Or Yeti, whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called. It's not like that.
It's the Yeti.
What?
I know.
Kids don't think it's the Yeti.
Like Yeti, Eddy, whatever, but
We also.
I just think, that maybe would be a nice location. I mean, I don't know how
Well,
much they still own.
We get into that conversation about who owns that property, because
Railroad
it says
property.
Renovo Borough, but it's actually, I think it was PennDOT at one point, and then reverted to the Norfolk Southern, or no, whatever the rail was before Norfolk Southern.
Conrail.
Yeah. So, I'm not sure who owns it.
I just, with the ones in town, I thought, well, we still own out that way a little bit, you know what I mean? There's money in
How
that
far are you
area.
going up?
I just thought maybe Brewery Hollow, come out and then,
If
because-
Cross River, that's good.
Yeah, I know.
And they're not, they'll never allow that.
I'm doing that.
my God, that's just what popped in my head.
We'd have to sacrifice you. Look at Rhonda, if let us cross the track.
Can that go for repairs too?
Repaired, I would think.
Like the boat launch down at Flint Forge area, could that be repaired, like made better?
How?
Made better, right? Like right now, like some of the walls and stuff aren't, on the left side, facing going down the river. Left side could use some repairs and then like even the bank itself is being washed. A lot of it was washed. Some areas are pretty well washed up. I was wondering if it could go in for repairs too.
I would imagine.
Because that'd be nice to clean it up, clean that area up, because it is the flame and foliage area.
I just wonder if we can fix it up even more,
I can't imagine that you couldn't,
so.
because it'd be efficient
I'm
project.
just passing the thought, so. They're more, appealing.
Somewhere to tie off your boats.
That's worried about throwing it out, we just don't want it.
Yeah, I mean like a floating one to make it, I don't know if that would make it easier to get in and out of. I don't know.
Oh, doing your budget, could you budget some money for music in the parks?
$1?
500?
What did we do?
Well, that way we're not
last year?
asking you.
Yeah, then they come back
It's
later, so.
500, one week. And that can be included in the grant when it's being asked, then if you guys already okayed it. USDA is the, Alan Hopkins is the contact for rural development. And that is the grant we wanted to apply for the feasibility study. Do we need to vote on that, Martha?
I would say, yeah.
I think you would see it as a resolution eventually.
Yeah, way deep in those forms. So this is the one that Beth applied to the greenways, trails for some, and then we talked about doing some, but this can be our some, and try to fit and piece it together until we get to the full amount. If we can't get the whole amount, then maybe you could do a study of a shorter trail. Maybe we could do from Memorial Park to Crossbrook or something, depending on how much money we get. Oh, yeah, I have the, I have the. Somewhere. I can email it to you.
What's the deadline for the street signs if we were gonna use that? When's the deadline for that grant?
December
Oh,
15th.
December. I thought they said October.
It used to be
And
like January
what's that
1st,
grant
and they keep
called?
bringing it
Is
back.
that the
Lake
Lake
County
County
Community Foundation.
Community Foundation, okay.
There's no match on that.
Is that easy grant to fill out?
Yeah.
Marcia got her.
Yeah, but Marcia did the last few.
You want to do it?
I want to get my quotes, I wanna get the prices, and, I mean, I will work with whoever, I don't wanna
We got the.
do it myself.
It's an easy one. You don't have to write a huge narrative. You just, tell a story and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's all you have to do. So yeah, that was USDA. There's another USDA out. I don't think there's anything that the borough can do with it. It's for rural healthcare situations. So it's more like for Bucktown Medical Center.
Well, you had Tim
an
Reeves here
ambulance.
earlier. You could have talked.
He knows.
Oh,
He
okay.
knows. I talked with him. And Dave, he's gone.
What about offering another a clinic or like the antibody, like maybe to test for antibodies to see if you've had COVID?
That would be something we can ask maybe Bucktail to facilitate. That would be.
Because I mean, you see everywhere you can get COVID tested, but you don't see as many places that, if you're curious if you ever had it, to go and see if you have the antibodies or whatever.
Dave, what do you think?
What I do now, that's what I was just talking about.
You vote yes. No.
Oh, launch in Bucktown, yeah, right there at Stelly's Pond.
Well, no, she would like to do like a clinic for antibody tests.
At your hospital.
Would that be something like Bucktail would want to?
Because it makes you wonder if you never had the symptoms, you wonder maybe you
Yeah,
did
but
have it, not
They're
know
not
it.
testing anybody right now, are they?
When they are tested.
The COVID
The
test,
antibody
you
test,
can
right.
go anywhere for them, but as far as
Yeah,
testing.
yeah, but in the stores, did they get
I'm trying to do
it?
this with me.
All the tests, they get tested, fully tested.
You'd have to.
Antibodies is a blood test.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have no idea.
I know he had a machine to do it.
I've had it
Tim
done,
told me
I
about
had
it.
it done back in, I think March, February, March. Just draw blood and
how long before you know?
I don't think
I
they
think it was
do.
3 days.
I didn't know if
What
there
did you
would be
guys
a
ask?
need for something like that, I just,
Staff knows, can
Can you ask?
I can find out, I can talk to the 2 people that would probably.
Say like council's inquiring because of that rural health care grant,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is, you know,
I can talk to.
very large.
Beth, she's really overwhelmed, like everybody else in the country, but, you know, I'm sure people in the line be seen if it's not open all the time. But she might go for it.
Can't hurt to ask.
Yeah, oh, I can ask them and he can get the 3
I
of
don't
them
know, it
together.
just gets the name out there on possibilities if we get turned down. I mean, maybe there would be other opportunities for grant money for other things that could come
Well,
along.
they'll do ambulances, oh my gosh, all kind of equipment, paramedicine, which has been a hot topic. That's phase one. There's actually 2 phases of it. Phase 2, the grants range from 5 million to 10 million. So your minimum amount.
Does
is
it help
5
with
million.
like staffing, like,
There was a lost revenue section of it that would do that, but I believe Bucktail has already addressed that to a different
I
funding
thought
source.
because, you know, if the wages here aren't as good somewhere else, that if it would help pay for wages for nurses,
Yeah.
doctors, whatever, to come to the area.
Some of that was addressed, I think even with PPP and stuff, really has helped Bucktail along the way, but this is kind of looking into the future for more pandemic stuff, what is needed to thrive as a rural healthcare. So, just wanted to tell you about that. I went to the ATV task force meeting again, the North Central Task Force, which really should have been here because originally the governor signed the House bill for here, and the opposition to using certain roads and doing the connected thing, so they moved it up there. So it's going well. I think some of the issues have been like dust control, kids doing donuts out on the trail, and they caught one and they're fixing it. But Penn State is also in there, and they're evaluating the impact on residents and most importantly on businesses. So hopefully some of our stuff gets done, even if we get to connect from here to Whiskey Springs. I think would be pretty huge for us. And CDBG and EDA, again, I want to bring those up. We're trying to meet on that. I talked with Alan Mueller yesterday, still looking for an affordability rate and some other information, because we can't prove that we are needy for the project if I can't get this information. The project, it's 2 different things. CEDACOG will be doing it, and it's water line, paving, and anything else, I think, because South Renovo will be included.
Carrie, what's South Renova's outlook on the 4-wheelers? Do they allow them over there or not?
Well, they had said that they would open them up as long, when people told them, like if it was coming down Pete's Run, or if it was coming, like, do they need to open up Pennsylvania Avenue, Clinton Avenue, you know what I mean? Like what, or Susquehanna Avenue, because they could come right up down 2nd Street, down, but then you would exclude Lisa's, so they, because they're the only restaurant you would want them to have access to. But they were agreeable to it. They just wanted a design as to what road, But now I don't know what the current situation is in South Carolina. I hope they do, because you still have the connection to the Bloody Skillet.
Would we ever be able to get enough money to put a small bridge across the river?
Mm.
Just a little. DCNR.
Can you research that? Find it for us?
I
Even
think
a
that,
walking bridge.
I think that was.
Zip line. Zip line or something.
Well, that's what Carrie always wanted, the zip
I don't know.
lines. That would be awesome.
Or-
It's not, that hasn't gone away.
The insurance.
Because that's the
wouldn't
next
go
thing
up
on my
that
thing
much
is to
with
talk
it.
about the walking path out there. Did Alex ever get a hold of anybody on final design? Because it was out,
Yeah, she sent that email.
but I never,
Oh, we
we
never
never,
had it?
we never heard another word.
But we never,
Oh, we
like,
never
met or
yeah.
got together after
No,
that. She said,
right.
look
Should
it
give us some
over, but-
ideas.
Because it would be a recreational project. And
She's slow.
That one grant, what is it now that opened up that you can use for recreational? The one you, yeah.
That had me coming around.
Oh, yeah.
I printed it out and made it to the bottom of my
Oh, you did?
car floor and
Awesome. I see it.
so that's enough. Do you have anything for me?
Now you want to tell me anything about water? We'll do that while you're there.
Water's kind of, you know, the project's wrapping up on 4th and 9th. They put cold patch, I think, in, or milling course, whichever that grade, you know. And then we'll be paving 9th Street. Like I said, we're putting it out to bid soon. So hopefully that's done this year. I think there's some sidewalks need replaced and stuff. They're gonna be doing that.
Where
They
took
put in
out.
forms, they put in forms.
Oh,
they did?
You got one in front of your house. You have one, Chrissy.
what are they doing in the church?
Carrie, earlier in my
I think they
recommendation spiel,
That's what I'm wondering.
should have, I think you as our grant advisor, having the focus of the borough's interest on grants has slingshotted us forward. I really do believe that. Without you and your expertise and your ability to wrangle all these acronyms and grants questions together,
I hate doing that.
I can't even keep track half the time, in all honesty.
You guys are
You're doing a fabulous job, and if it wasn't for your efforts, we'd be further behind than we are now. It's a great
We've come a long way since, what, 2013?
Yeah, you doing before me.
But we have a long way to go. We inherited a bad mess, and we do what we can. And, you know, we do with what we have money to do.
Yeah.
Because so many things are matching, or, you know, we could do a multimodal, you know, for $1 million.
There's
It
clear
would cost
focus.
us $250, yeah, so we
Clear
can't.
focus. You have
So,
that.
looking ahead and planning our projects is super important. And that's why even if, you know, we would have to move all of the artifacts from across the tracks to 9th or 7th Street or whatever, that's why I'm kind of asking about that river plan on how do we get that finished? Or, you know, does she call that finished?
She was waiting for comments, and I think you're still working on something for the property.
Oh, that's right. She did have you in that.
So you're included.
You still messing with that?
I think he's having trouble getting hold of somebody.
Oh.
Yeah, that's one property owner. Really played phone tag and had a conversation.
About fucking sucker or whatever his name is now.
Broke with it.
Okay.
That's all it is just the Whitty property? Just figuring.
There were just two property owners in the
Yeah.
house on me to speak with, and I spoke with one and then.
Yeah, because we own the next properties over.
38
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And
I
they
remember that.
So I guess
I can try to call her and see where we're at. I know she's
Kinda.
having personal issues too, so.
I know they had offered to allow to use the property, but we had to show they own the property, and if they didn't
Why
own
are
it,
we
revert
going
back
over
to us.
Aren't we going over to
In case
bank?
anybody around the table doesn't know what we're talking about.
Aren't we going over to bank or something? We're not going right on top, are we?
Well, yeah, because if we were gonna do a rustic trail along the bottom, but it was,
That would get washed out. I just that would
yeah,
not work.
safer up top.
Okay.
have better views.
Like a deck type thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like a
If I can remember.
boardwalk.
Boardwalk, yeah, that's it.
Because doing
With
something
some
like that
lighting.
at the river level is gonna wash out. Or,
No, I don't have a transfer.
Okay.
so I guess as soon as we know about that final design, she
Yeah, I
didn't
don't think
disappear
anyone
again.
commented, because I didn't get no replies. from
Did everybody get a copy of it?
Yeah, it's been a little bit since we've all
Yeah.
had.
That was like
Month or so.
Maybe
I
6
thought she was
weeks
gonna
ago.
reach out like a week or two after sending it and see
Have a
if we wouldn't have
meeting.
one, you know, another.
Yeah, because we can't even apply for DCNR or anything until we know who owns the property or gives us permission to use it.
December 31st was the name of it.
I hope she finishes it. How much did she still?
I think it's
Oh,
probably not.
I mean,
Is she gonna have a public meeting?
I thought so. She still has like a final payment out of that money we've had, that 10,000.
Yeah.
Remember we got it from DCNR. It was a peer-to-peer grant. We got 10,000. We matched 1,000. It's like she didn't even want paid. I'm like, we need to get rid of the money because DCNR is saying, hey, the end of your cycle's coming. You know, we need final reports.
We can try and reach out to her and see
Yeah.
what she has to say.
And I'd like to get something so we can plan, you know, what we're gonna do with it in the spring or whenever. Call the project done. I mean, I don't know which one's on the wall. Is that the old boat launch? 'Cause there is some drawing there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just have them all in your emails or something, maybe.
If not,
Ditch them.
let me know. I'll forward it to you so you can look at it. Because I don't think that there's any like, major changes to it besides like trees.
They look the
and-
same to me.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that was pretty neat.
Mhm.
Because it would be like LHU has that, and it's kind of like lifted up.
Elevated.
Yeah, I thought that was a neat idea.
You know, I went to school there for 5 years and I never knew it was an archway. I just thought it was like some piece of stone.
Nice.
I know now that it's an archway.
Appreciation for
What was the
art.
entrance to go into the school? There was two of them, but there's only one left, I think, right?
That was way before my time,
Yeah,
probably.
apparently.
As always, if you have questions, call me or
Alright,
email me or whatever.
we covered water business. Unfinished business. Western Clinton County Municipal Authority requests for funding to replace raw sewage pumps. Carrie, you said they got their full funding, didn't you?
Yes. Well, no and yes. They got 74,000 from CDBG and the rest I think is going to come from ARP money.
From us, or
No,
they'll get their own?
They no longer need a 90,000
They
from us.
don't need this from us then?
no.
Okay.
Was that what they asked for last month too? That was, okay.
Yeah.
That was before they
what
got
we
their
do
grant.
that? There you go.
No longer.
Fireworks, the ordinance, we already discussed that, right? Okay, we're gonna go into new business. Motion to approve the MMO of 0 for the uniform pension plan for 2022.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Anybody opposed? Motion to approve the MMO of $10,700 for the non-uniform pension plan for 2022.
I have a question on that.
Sure.
Okay, so I see it's the normal cost, but it has borough, then it has authority.
Yeah.
So the 5,200 under authority, is that the water authority?
Yep, Tim was grandfathered.
He
When
was,
the water and borough split in 2011, they let the water employees stay
Stay
on
on
the
there.
pension.
Well, what,
The
shouldn't
Ray
the
was
water
on there
authority
at one
pay
point.
that 5,200?
It comes from the state.
we don't pay it.
We don't pay it. It comes
It's
from the
not our
state.
money. Yeah, it's just
Okay, well, the next motion, that's, okay.
10,007.
We're just approving the memorandum
Yes.
of understanding, okay,
Yeah, it doesn't come out of our pocket.
okay. But it just, when it was listed like that, I thought, okay, well, they're not with us anymore, the water authority,
Yeah,
so.
Tim's the only one left,
Okay.
because Marcy's off and Randall's off.
Okay. Alright.
And then
I'll make a motion that we approve that MML.
I'll second it.
all in favor? Anybody opposed? Motion to advertise ordinance 809, opening a portion of Industrial Park Road for adoption at the October 13, 2021 regular meeting.
Do you want Stuart to?
You can.
Sure, we previously passed this ordinance, which will expire December 31, 2021. The purpose of this new ordinance would just be to extend that for a couple of years to give them more time for the project to come to fruition. We talked about it before as far as the benefits of this. It only comes into play if Renovo Energy takes over possession of those properties, and part of the agreement is that there'll be a permanent access in an emergency situation for use by residents in the borough or folks in the area to travel over the property,
Right.
which we don't have now. So we need to open it just so we can vacate it, because it's never been opened. Yeah, so right now it's just the private property owners could stop someone from using it, so.
So I need a motion to
I
advertise.
will make the motion to advertise ordinance 809 for adoption, or for Industrial Park Road, right? 809.
Opening.
Given a portion.
Opening a portion of Industrial Park Road.
All in favor? Anybody opposed? Motion to advertise ordinance 810, vacating a portion of Industrial Park Road for adoption at the October 13, 2021 regular meeting.
I'll make the motion that we advertise ordinance 810, vacating a portion of Industrial Park Road.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, motion to add up to $2,000 additional dollars to James Dremel's quote of $10,000 for the demolition of 149 4th Street for demolition liability insurance.
So not past 2,000, up to.
Up to.
I'll make that a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? So you know, I went to the sewer department and asked for forgiveness last Wednesday. It was a joke, but they gave us 90 days to tear it down or we're gonna be getting billed. Oh, it was not fun. I'm not going ever again. One of you Jaegers are going. I'm telling you right now.
I'll go.
Every time I go, I get treated like that.
I'll go.
Marcia goes, what happened about working together? They're nuts.
One.
It's
Your
very unprofessional.
representative.
Huh?
Your representative.
It's ridiculous. So what, they gave us 90 days before they'll start billing us if we don't tear it down.
Boy, that was courteous of them.
Last time I went, they said, yeah, we'll work with you, you know, and this time it was ridiculous. I'm never going there again. Somebody else is going.
That's
I got a lot.
good to
So
hear.
what happens if we,
If we don't tear it down in 90 days, they're going to start
no,
billing us sewage.
can't we turn it off?
It is off.
No.
Okay.
Water.
The sewer.
The water's even off.
Sewage you can't turn off.
No.
And then they'll have to come and inspect when Jimmy does it all to make sure that Jimmy capped the sewer pipe correctly. The only one get paid for that.
Is it normal for a municipality to pay water and sewer on borough property?
We do here, don't we?
Only here.
Yeah, water and sewer.
We pay, but we bought it on repository, you would think that they'd give you more than
I
90
told them to
days.
tear it
I
down.
don't have water for that.
Yeah,
They were- One of the board members was very mean.
Wow.
I know.
So that was that.
oh then.
Okay. Motion to bid out the 9th Street CDBG paving project with bids to be opened at a special meeting to be held on September 29th, 2021 at 6 p.m. You have to advertise for that,
Yes.
I'll enter that motion.
John?
I'll second
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? A motion to approve the Flaming Foliage PennDOT road closing application for Huron Avenue on October 9, 2021 from 1:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. for the annual Flaming Foliage Parade.
I'll make the motion for that Flaming Foliage PennDOT road closing application.
I'll second it.
John? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
I just abstain.
Motion to accept the resignation of Victor Foley as Renovo Borough Ordinance Officer effective October 1st, 2021.
I'll make the motion to accept Victor's resignation as ordinance officer.
Who was that, Dave? Oh, Bill. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion to accept the resignation of Jared Holbert from the Board of Appeals effective August 17th, 2021.
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Who did? Chrissy. All in favor? Anybody opposed? Motion to pass Resolution 7/2021 appointing alternate member Eric Fletcher to fill Jarrett Holbert's remaining 3-year term expiring 12/31/2022 and appointing Devin DeMart as an alternate to fill Jared Holbert's remaining 2-year term expiring 12/31/2021.
I'll make the motion to pass resolution 7/2021.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay. Now we're going to ordinance officer position. We don't have one now.
Do you think
Do you want to hire one?
Do you think it would be best to use that money to put towards another part-time police officer? And
We
have,
don't want to come part-time. We need to get a full-time, I think. Unless we offer Vector to come back right now, full-time. Go that route, or guarantee us a full-time.
My opinion is it's gonna be a lot easier to bring an ordinance officer on than another cop. We've been advertising since before I was hired for a part-time person, and it hasn't started. The requirements to be a cop are a lot more stringent than an ordinance officer. I don't think there really are any besides being sworn in, in front of the magistrate, and then obviously they'd have to be trained by, myself and Victor and kind of fall under the police department, but, yeah.
How was the training for
For what?
ordinance?
There is none.
There's no training at all for ordinance
No.
officer?
oh my gosh.
No,
We
it's
get to know
not,
the
it's not like it's not, from my understanding, it's not like a police officer job, like anybody in here could get hired to do it, and then they just be sworn in, and then they have the ability to write ordinance violations that the borough has on non-traffic citations.
Building code.
Yeah, but we're not talking, we're talking strictly ordinances. Yeah. So like ordinances like grass and weeds,
Stuff like broken houses.
Well, I'm gonna address that with the state law, so we'll be all right.
They just have to learn the ordinances and be taught the process of how to do citations and so forth, and how to present themselves in a court hearing. Representing our borough.
Well,
You're gonna pay so much extra money.
Yeah, he's only up here one day.
But I mean, if we could
I
get
think
him
that
to
was
come in
another option.
to
was
another-
packages that you could have had that, but I think it's gonna be kind of salty.
I can tell you, just to me driving around, like with the hours I'm able to work and the hours we have Victor on the street, obviously the ordinances kind of get pushed to the bottom of the pile because the cost of service and those things are more important, unfortunately. I think that we're gonna need, there's a lot of ordinances that need addressed. It's not necessarily gonna be a full-time job, but it's gonna be a 20-hour-a-week job for probably ever.
Okay, I'm going to agree with the chief because in my experience, working for DJ, almost what he said is exactly what every officer has said. They really don't have the time
Especially
to do
here.
ordinances. And I do agree, and I see that as well.
I can tell you too, sorry to interrupt you, but
That's
like
okay.
the city of Lock Haven right now, typically our officers are doing it forever. My understanding is they're hiring an ordinance officer at the end of the year because the call, you know what I mean? It's just,
Right.
it's more cost effective to have an ordinance officer do it.
Right, and the mayor even said, you know, it's difficult right now because we only have 2 part-time officers who also have other jobs as well. So there's no certification, it's just a matter, so to speak, on the job training. And then another thing I wanted to ask you is, when I was at court and Officer Foley was there, I couldn't understand why the DJ said, I'm referring to private criminal complaint, da-da-da, ordinance so-and-so, and did it again and again. And Victor at that time said he wanted to apologize to the court because at the time, he was not a police officer. And when I asked Judge Mills about it, he said, Judge Mills, that they have to use a private criminal complaint to fill out an ordinance violation, that only officers of the Commonwealth can do a citation.
He's our.
I'll have to look into that.
If you would.
But I mean, even a private criminal complaint isn't
No
any-
big deal.
It's no more difficult than filing a non-traffic citation. I mean,
Right.
like right now, if I would do an ordinance violation, I'd do it on a non-traffic
Yes,
citation.
you would, that's right. But
I
if
can
I
look
were
in-
the ordinance officer, which I'd love to be,
I can look into it. I don't,
would, you have no idea.
This little lady knocked on your
See, I'm not sure
You
if
take
there's-
care of your grass.
And I'm not sure if there's different kinds of private criminal complaints, because it's my understanding any private criminal complaint filed in the county has to have this approval of the district attorney to be accepted.
But this is a summary.
But it's still a private criminal complaint,
Really?
so I'll have to look into it more.
Because I know Mayor Kozak.
There may be a standing order though where the DA accepts any private criminal complaints for a.
Yeah, he did that. He did, he was allowed to file that private complaint. The mayor of South Renovo was doing ordinance.
And I worked with Code Inc. with the same type of complaints.
I wonder if we couldn't possibly have like, make somebody an auxiliary officer and then have them file non-traffic if that was easier. Because I don't think you have to have like an auxiliary police officer. A lot of places have them, and they're not actually certified law enforcement officers. They're kind of used as like manpower thing.
Right.
So I'm not sure if we didn't make an auxiliary officer in charge of ordinances, if we could make things a little more streamlined and easier as far as how to go. I mean, that may be a little, thought maybe stirred me. I mean, I don't know what all the legal stuff is with all that.
Plainville Village used to hire the auxiliary police, like they do for the regatta as well. Right.
But I know right now, I mean, it's, you know, the ordinances, and I'm trying to address the biggest one that says Victor, but I mean, it's just,
Time consuming.
and you know, when we're here, they know, I mean, it's we answer a lot of calls anymore, so.
What do you guys want to do? Advertise? Do what?
What kind of hourly rate are
Has
we?
COG talked again about, remember how we talked
Oh,
before
our three
about
communities combining. and
maybe
getting
South
a-
Renovo, Renovo, Chapman Township, all
Get a better
going?
Yeah,
full-time
ordinance
man.
officer.
Oh, yeah.
Well, then you could make it full-time
Yeah.
probably too.
Or
Yeah,
even
South
35
Dakota
hours
was
a
doing,
week
South
also.
Dakota just did one.
Well, they didn't come.
Well, wasn't Victor doing all three of them anyway?
He was up in Noise.
I
I
think
know, he
did
was
know
Chapman
that.
too.
I think he was on
Really?
Yeah, he was Chapman for a bit, I remember that.
Well, was he just doing Chapman's because he was policing that area? Or
No,
was he
this
doing-
is before he came back as a cop.
Oh, okay.
He was doing,
Oh, yeah, he was doing that.
I think he was doing South River.
He was, I seen it.
Maybe we should talk to the other two municipalities and see if they wanna join in.
That's a
and
good idea.
Come up with,
When's your next meeting?
Full-time.
You have a
Ordinance,
COG meeting tomorrow?
next week, right after this one, next Wednesday. I can,
you wanna dig
Talk
into
to
them
them?
and see what
Sure.
they have to say?
sure.
My
That's a
opinion
good
is,
idea.
I mean, my opinion, we'd have an easier chance getting the ordinance guy.
If it's a full-time, but they'd have to do Chapman, South Dakota, and Renovo.
Oh, I mean,
And then the three communities can work together and see if they wanna come up as far as pay an hour.
I can tell you right now, I could spend 20 hours a week alone just going to
Okay, all right. But I ain't doing it.
And it'd always be like that, because all someone doesn't want to mow the grass, or doesn't want to do the trash, things like that.
They throw their trash beside their foundations on their, just throw shit there, leave it there forever.
We're just throwing it in an empty building.
Just throw it there, yeah. I mean, it's like, throw shit away, pay to have it taken away, oh my God.
And even the weeds that people don't take care of drives me insane.
We've had enough rain. Just go out after it's done raining, they pour it.
They do, I
They
know.
pour real nice.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll double check that and make sure like an ordinance officer doesn't have to have any like formal certification, but my understanding is kind of needs sworn in wherever the magistrate's at.
That's a lot of responsibility for not having any type of training.
How about
To
it?
take that on and deal with crazy people, angry people. Yeah, but I'm saying, my hat's
Clean
off
your
to the
stuff
people
up.
that do that, because,
just pick up your stuff, just get rid of your junk cars,
Exactly.
pick this up.
Luckily, a lot of it can be hands off too. I mean, you see it, you document the violation, you send a lot of certified letters. There's not too much face-to-face interaction, so I mean,
those certified letters are so expensive. I mean, for the, the amount that costs, it's like, I know you can probably recoup it through
You can.
the person, but it's like getting blood from a stone.
that's, that's if they're found guilty and,
Yeah.
there's just, and when, even if someone's convicted and found guilty of an ordinance violation, if the ordinance says $5 to $50 fine, we have no say on what the fine is, or if it just says up to so many dollars, it could be a $0 fine.
Yep, I went to the court and the guy got a $1 fine.
Yeah, so unless the ordinances specifically say minimum this, if it just says up to this, they can set the fine at whatever they want.
What?
$1.
Like, you know how we were supposed to have the spring cleanup and it was canceled because we couldn't get dumpsters? I'm wondering if we could maybe do a fall cleanup. Do you think, was that COG?
Yeah. Yeah.
You mentioned that
I
too.
will.
So then
Thanks, Lou.
maybe, that would be nice to have that before flaming foliage, that maybe it would entice people to take advantage of it for free before we have the ordinance officer in there.
You good on that now? We're gonna advertise, or we're gonna talk with the other municipalities,
Maybe
Alright.
you could send an email to Marcia, how their thoughts are on it, so we know for next month if we have to advertise.
Okay.
And maybe we could do that at 29th, if we do something at the 29th meeting.
Alright, temporary street laborer position. I had Dave took over the applications that we had, but nobody wanted to respond to his response or rotation, so the only one we had was Chucky Goodwin.
Well, I can vouch for him, he's been my neighbor for a number of years, and when he cut the grass, I never had to ask him, he would come by and, weed whack and cut the grass, and
Well, I think it'll be a competition between him and Benny talking.
but I can vouch that he definitely knows how to run a weed whacker lawnmower, and
And with Leon.
he was always,
being
he's
off,
a very nice neighbor. So
agree.
We need somebody, I mean,
I think that that would be right up his alley to that line of work, and I think he would.
He does
with
my
the
neighbors
auction,
out
you
back,
know,
Tracy's, he does a good job.
Yeah.
if he's working hard and doing what he's told to do and everything, that he could be called back April 1st to start again for the summer. 'Cause
Yeah,
Leon
he
just ain't
seems,
cutting it.
he's doing well.
And Marcia asked Leon if he wanted part-time or whatever, and he said, no, I'll try and make
He
it to work
delivers
every day.
newspapers early in the morning, pulls the trailer with the little baby in the back. Every morning he's out bright and early. I mean, he's always looking for odd jobs. I mean, he
Okay.
seems,
So, what, need a pay scale? I don't know what we were paying the other one, Struble. What were we paying Struble? 1035.
Remember that program was.
Okay, 1035 and hours. Up to what?
Was it 35?
What you want him to be, or?
Yeah,
Or do you want him 30? It's just temporary, so,
we can just give him
so it's
40.
not gonna give any benefits.
Okay.
up to 40.
We need him.
He has other commitments with, like he does have, other jobs that at least then it'll be a little bit flexible for
Yeah.
up to 40. But then we know that we can really use.
Well, no, I think we should
leading
set
up
the
to-
hours.
You should set his hours.
I'd set his hours, 8 to 4:30.
8 to 4:30.
Is that the same as Vinny's?
I didn't get a chance to talk to him today, but he may have to change it because he's still passing the papers in the morning. And sometimes it depends on when he gets them, how he gets done.
Okay.
So sometimes you don't get them till later in the morning, and it puts him behind. So he might be pushing 8 o'clock start time. So let me find out and see what he wants to do.
I mean, if we could work with him, that's our only option, and
We
we
can
need
even
to
make
help
it
him
10
for
to
flipping.
4:30 if you want, or 9 to
Yeah.
4:30.
Would this be till the end of October?
Yes,
And then come back in April if so needed?
yes.
Okay.
How many days a week do you deliver papers?
6 days.
Oh, he's doing express.
Yeah, he's doing the express. He does.
I would say
He
9.
does a lot. He does a lot of.
What's that?
Just
9
let him at
o'clock?
9.
Let's see what he. Let's see.
You did motion to hire him with his hours to be set by the street committee.
So maybe
I'll make the motion that we hire Charles Goodling for the temporary street labor position with the hours being set by the street committee
I'll second the motion.
at 10:35 an hour.
I'll second that too.
Christie. All in favor?
Uh,
When do you want him to start? Whoops.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow?
No, he already asked me about that.
What did he say? He wanted to
Let's
start
him on
tomorrow?
Monday.
He said if anything, he has to go pick up the rest. He must have transportation to go pick up. He's putting a new roof on his house. I ain't gonna stop him. He's going to get the roofing material, so. He's gonna put a roof on that house, put a porch on
Was
it.
Leon in today?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll see him
Can we
later.
start on
All
Monday?
right, Monday.
Right.
13, right?
If you don't want it, you have to tell us ASAP.
He's-
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
He's
All right.
Yes, I ever got for a job.
Okay. 2004 Chevy truck repairs. Fuel pump. It's a diesel. That is the price.
It's about what I paid.
See, it's been sitting down there for 2 weeks, you know.
So, I paid that, about
Yeah,
that price for it.
And I talked to Mickey Kelly, and he said it's all right sitting there, you know. I told him he had to make a decision tonight or whatever. I mean, there's no sense going and getting it and bringing it back up and let it sit here. We need to fix it. Or they can't use it.
Well, we need the truck.
Yeah, we do.
Here's an idea. You know that
Your thing.
street maintenance savings money that we have? That's the
Balance.
the 6,000. It's,
What do we ever use it for?
it's for street maintenance, so
like for when we buy cold patch, and do we buy our salt out of that?
We haven't really touched it. Remember when you guys motioned to open it? Like any street opening permit
Where we
goes
putting
into
that
that
in there,
account.
that 250 for,
Yes.
okay, that's where we were throwing it.
Yeah, I would feel more comfortable with that because, you know, go balance.
Well, that's what it's for.
71,000, so let me see.
Any street opening permit, they have to
that.
pay, so we need to come up with the idea of making savings.
Which one is it?
Second one down.
Oh, general fund street maintenance, okay. Yeah, that's a great idea.
So motion.
I'll make the motion that we pay for the truck repairs from the general fund street maintenance savings of $3,237.17.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, FEMA Hazard Mitigation Assistance Grant. What is that? Carrie, help,
The payment version.
the Hazard Mitigation Assistance Grant.
Yeah, it's mitigation for flood areas. Supposedly FEMA has money and FEMA has money and we can use them together. We need to send like a letter of interest. I don't know if you remember what we learned a while ago. It kind of has to be on the county hazard mitigation plan. We approved for hazard mitigation projects, so we did add some in the last mitigation things. But we need to do a letter up as a letter of intent. Like a letter of intent to apply for funding, so it puts us on.
We applied last year for the mitigation grant, right? We did the same thing, but
Not last year.
or the year before.
I kind of skip over the COVID year. I don't think anything happened. But it's a letter of intent saying that we want to apply for some hazard mitigation project.
I'll motion it.
To apply.
Right, yeah, for application.
Letter of intent.
Right.
I think they have to give us permission to apply.
I'll second.
Christie, it was you? Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? USDA ARPA recreational grants.
I think we kind of talked about that. Terry.
What?
Did you have to make a motion?
Read it again?
USDA grant?
I think you should, just in case there is a, resolution and stuff in there.
To apply for what? What's the name of it?
Historic walking trail feasibility study.
Trying to help Marcia with that,
I
right?
do have a quote, is that one, Marcia? I think it might be on my desk. Or my table at my house, or. That I just looked at today. It's 75,000 altogether. Beth put in, I think she asked for like way too low, like 12,000. I don't know why she did that, but we're just trying to bit and piece it together.
So we need a motion to apply for that then?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we apply for the USDA ARPA recreational grant.
Well, it's USDA, right? Terry, USDA, not ARPA. Or both.
Yeah, I think you need to do some kind of something for ARP. I don't think you need a motion or anything. I think you need to kind of go back and forth and decide your project. And I can start an email with all of you, you know what I mean, and just start shooting ideas back and forth of all of the things that you want.
So we just need one for the USDA. then?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't need it.
Christie motion.
Christie did. Somebody want a second?
Patty seconded.
Daryl? Patty did?
Patty did.
I did.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Anything we need to go
Once we're done with this list, I have something that I want to bring up before we adjourn.
over? I guess what we're doing in executive. We need the executive, so you can go do
Okay.
this first.
I just looked at something on our Lowe's bill. We're tax exempt, correct? We were tax exempt for this purchase, but the big purchase of $1,197, the paint. We
Right,
were charged tax of $71.88.
it's not taken off anywhere with it.
This one, it has 0, this one has 71.
Shipped.
Oh, is it shipped here, is that shipping fee?
No,
No,
it
it
says
says
tax.
Alright.
Cause this is 0 for up here.
Good luck. I'm trying to
What kind of
figure it out.
account do you have?
Was it paid for credit card?
Do we have an LAR account, or how do we do the
Well, I mean, it's a
tax?
power, we have a large.
Yeah, it's weird that the tax was 0 on the one item.
But
tax
that
then-
did to mine at the hospital too. If I ordered stuff online, I was getting charged tax.
Yeah, and
But if I go into the
Shouldn't be
store,
anyway, though.
I didn't
Yeah,
get charged tax.
we didn't get charged tax on the third, on that order, but on the biggest order of $1,100, we ended up getting charged $71. Will you look into that? Okay.
You found it, yeah. Yeah, Vinny just goes down there and makes purchases.
Yeah, and he
So
should be
I
giving them the
wouldn't
card, he
think
goes
he-
by our telephone
Yeah.
number, I think, I'm
I
not
wouldn't
even
think he'd
sure.
be doing any
Should
additional.
use his veterans discount.
Oh, the 10%.
Oh, maybe he did.
No, I don't
No.
see where it's discounted any, but yeah, the tax is on there, and I'm like, what? Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to run through both. And I wanna
That was
amend the
something.
agenda to talk about police, about Victor, should we offer him to come back full-time and get a definite? Or
Where are we at with our budget? Do we have money?
Like, it could be January 1st, but I think we should get a yes or no, and we should advertise if you don't want to. I mean, we're sitting here, nobody wants to come part-time.
I always thought if you had a full-time job and you wanted a little extra money, I always thought part-time was the way to go, you know, but.
We're talking about all this. What's the question?
About asking Victor to come back, or maybe going for a full-time, I don't know. 'Cause we need help.
So, kind of my opinion on what we need to do right now is we need an answer from him if he wants to come back full time. Yes or no, we need to hear. If it's a no, we need to advertise for a full time job like starting now. I mean, you got State College, you got Williamsport, you got the
I saw State
university,
College's
you got all these places
ad.
hiring full time people right now, and their salaries and benefits. I'm sorry, it's
What are
hard.
they paying?
A lot more than we can afford to probably. So that's what I'm saying, like, we need to do something now, and then the other issue we have is, are we gonna take somebody fresh out of the academy, because then it becomes logistically, how do we train this person with 2 other part-time officers? So, it's not an easy.
We need to do something.
I can tell you, I think a lot of it has to do with location and money. You know, right now, we have advertised for $18 an hour, and I'm pretty certain that's the highest rate in Clinton County starting for a part-time police officer right now. However, if you look at the location, most people are coming from Lock Haven or farther out
Right.
from up here, so they're losing money and gas and time.
Yeah, with the way gas is going up.
Unfortunately, there's, for whatever reason, Renovo had a not so great reputation in the law enforcement community. So
Right.
you got a lot of people who don't want to come up here just because.
We did have people come here, but they all ditched us again.
So I think there's a lot of obstacles to overcome. But again, I go back to the default. It's not to pick on like when you got Domino's Pizza offering guys $20 an hour to deliver pizzas and use not one of those
Well, the
cars.
government needs to stop handing out the checks.
It's hard, you know,
Back to
and
work.
like to work at Walmart, you know, stocking shelves at $17, $18 an hour, so you're looking at a job that's inherently this much more dangerous versus I can go stock shelves or I can deliver pizzas or whatever, you know.
And over the years, every time you get the newbies up here, they're here for 6 months or better, and then they're gone.
Yeah, they're here to get their.
They're here to get their training in, and once they get trained, then they're gone.
That's basically how the sheriff's department is.
That's how the correctional.
Yeah,
That's right.
Oh yeah, there's turnover everywhere in the county. You
Yeah.
know, with you know, correction officers going to different counties. With you know, the sheriff just hired 2. I mean, the university department's down 2 or 3 guys. It's just
That's why Victor's working.
you know everybody's having a problem getting officers on board, and we're going to be.
I mean, even if we bring him back full time, we still need more help, especially if the.
Oh yeah, and
What are you gonna do?
that's the thing. I mean, unfortunately, we're going to have to find a way to make it. We're going to have to offer things that maybe other places. Something's going to have to be offered to compete with a Williamsport or a State College or
I
Ferguson.
would rather you think a small area that it would be more appealing than
Wow.
a big city.
It is, but you got to look, or you know, look at my benefits in Lock Haven. You know, we have our dry clean taken care of for our uniforms. We get medical and clothing reimbursement. We have good retirement. You know, we have awesome contract and benefits. You know, those things other places. You know, State College the same way. You have the room for advancement. You know, when you come to a small department like this, you're kind of where you're at. So.
We offer free sewing up patches.
Sometimes.
Still in that line of work, eh?
It's just that we're not built out. We're a very small municipality with limited funding, and there's so many other areas that right now it's a kind of a cop's paradise in picking jobs. I mean, everybody is hiring police right now. I mean, you know, it's everywhere.
But those people who you had talked to in the past are no longer interested.
Still bugging one, but again, I mean.
What if we bumped it to $20 an hour?
I don't know if it's
What
so
if we
much.
gave a mileage stipend to drive up here? I don't
That's what I'm
do
saying.
that.
There's going to have to be some kind of discussion on what to do to make it more lucrative. Because you got to look. You got to look. If we're going to only offer like, hey, we want you part time, but we can only have you 1 shift a week. Nobody wants to go somewhere part time for 1 day a week. Even if you have a retired cop, I mean, you know.
Well, they can come whenever they need to, but
Well.
or whenever they're available.
Well,
yeah, I mean,
we're
you
all
would
for
think the
that.
flexibility of it to get an extra paycheck.
Well, but there's only so much flexibility. So if I have 3 or 4 guys, I got to try to spread out.
Do you know of anyone that's fairly young that's retiring that maybe, you know, would get like a benefit check and then they could do this job?
No,
I
because
mean,
most people that get benefits, they won't start till they're 50 or so anyway. I mean, just
well,
'cause
even 50, I mean, just so they can run to the car occasionally.
I don't know what the answer is.
Neither do we. That's why I asked it.
Well, as far as flexibility goes, I kind of agree to that, but from past experiences in the last 3 or 4 months, we need officers when our town is busy. I came upon an ugly scene that I didn't care for last Saturday at Budstock, and we had to call the state police to come up. And unfortunately, we had our citizens holding back a very intoxicated person who had beaten up.
That's something too.
His
I'm not
girlfriend.
being made aware of some of these small events. I mean, you got to remember, I'm still kind of new here.
Yeah.
If I don't know about these events or what they are,
Well, I know, and I should have said something to
it's
these
hard.
guys.
It's hard to schedule.
When I was on the police
I know.
committee, I always, each month would check and see what was going on
I
and let the
still
officer
do.
know.
Yeah.
But it was embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, but that's not, you know, that's, I don't think that's, I mean, obviously we don't have the means to have full-time service here. And I will tell you this, I've had comments from several troopers that said they are very happy with what's going on up here on the police side. And they said that their calls have actually went down a whole lot compared to what they used to get. So we're getting somewhere, I think. But again, I mean, I don't think we can feel bad having to call the state police up when we're not available. I mean, that's the,
We pay taxes.
I mean, other municipalities are not police at
I
all. They got
understand that,
calls.
they do respond, they have been great, but what I'm saying is, we had these citizens trying to keep the person back, and who he also tried to take a slug at, one of our people, who was trying to help the matters out. It was, I mean, I walked right in on this, and I just thought, oh. And the first thing I heard is, there an officer on duty? I said, I don't know. And then somebody come up and said, well, we already called the state police. It's been an hour now.
Well, you don't call the state police, you call 911, the state.
Well,
police
that's what,
department
yeah.
who's going to show
I
up.
mean, I
We don't
did.
have somebody here, so.
But
You know,
Mary
you just
George
call
had
911,
called.
that's what you're gonna have to wait and do. That's all we can do.
But I'm just saying, I'd like to see, and even, I never even thought to say anything to these girls about it.
Who would
But
think it fun stuff?
But I always,
That they're doing
absolutely, who would have
Wow.
thought it, but
Wow.
exactly what? We have pipeliners in our community right now, and that's who it was. I'm not trying to label them, I'm just saying, he and the girlfriend. And then the saddest part was,
We're gonna see
after all,
more of it though.
after all that, the officer didn't have a victim. After all that, so away the lovers went.
Oh.
Until we can provide protection 24/7, there's always going to be that sporadic event that's going to happen
Yeah.
at any time. We may not have
Oh,
enough
exactly.
on duty. I mean, but I do understand your
I can tell you-
frustration with not having an officer for that specific event.
Right.
I can tell you right now, myself and Victor have received phone calls. We're both off duty and have responded here off duty to calls.
Well, I did call Tommy to see if
Um,
Victor was in the area.
I mean-
And I contacted both officers.
And
One was
and,
out of the state, the other one was unavailable.
Yeah.
and you know, I mean, I've already
Right.
got calls from the state police and they couldn't respond to emergency calls, and I've
But they call them anyway.
Yeah. Oh, I know,
So-
I know.
and you know, I've tried to come up as quickly as I can, but unfortunately, Renovo Road's not the best road in the world at 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night when I don't have fancy red blue lights on my car.
Your distance is just as far as the state trooper.
Yeah, I mean, coming over Beach Creek Mountain, it's not quite as long, but you know, again, I mean, you know,
Nowadays, we do need more.
That's it, exactly.
Still gotta come down on.
That's what I'm asking you guys' opinion, what do you wanna do?
Here's an idea.
What do you mean, Ann? Do you think we should go first to Victor?
I just, we're struggling to get officers to apply. What if we kind of leave it open-ended and have them apply and give an offer of what they want as far as wages and so forth? You know, maybe we're saying like, as an example, we say $18 an hour, maybe this officer would have came for 20. We don't know that until they have the ability to say that.
you could put a pay scale on there. You could put, you know, pay 18 to whatever, depending on experience.
But maybe somebody will say,
Has prices though, right?
but somebody could come and say, I want $20 an hour,
Set somewhere.
and it's affordable, and we hire them. Or they say, $40 an hour, and you guys are like, no, that's way too high, you can't help it, but at least you know.
I think
What
we're,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
would have came
it's when
here
we do
for.
our budget, we always have the list of employees and how much. So now that it's budget
Make
time,
a budget
Well,
higher.
you
but
gotta,
we can leave it open, you know, this to
we need
this.
to make sure we're taking care of Victor too, because if you're gonna bring somebody in at $20 or $22
Oh my
an hour,
gosh, well, yeah.
he needs to be bumped up maybe a little more. Yeah, I
But
mean,
I'm trying to see what's it gonna take
You're
to get
right.
them to come to our area. What's it gonna take? We don't know that.
I know. I mean, we love it here. We love the small town atmosphere, but other people may not. But if they were willing
Just an
to
idea.
entice them
That's a
somehow,
good idea.
it is a good idea.
I think what
Tell us what
cops
they
are
want.
looking for now, honestly, you need full-time with benefits and you need room for advancement. You need to have, people need to know if they spend 25 years in a police department, that when they retire after 25 years, they're gonna be taken care of.
Well, they have the state pension. I mean, we have this, what we just talked about, the uniform pension plan. I mean, that is, yes.
Yep, and they, you know, and again, I mean, if you, right now, I mean, full-time salaries for full-time police officers, you look, they're all pretty high up there. I mean, they're not, you know, full-time cops in Pennsylvania are making pretty decent pay, you know.
As they should.
What are they making Long Haven district?
To start,
Yeah.
I wanna say, I know like the yearly, I wanna say they're probably like close to 50,000 for the year to start.
$25 an hour.
Yeah, but look at the difference,
they're
Lock
lower
Haven
than
versus.
that.
No, I'm just asking, I was
I
curious.
think it's-
Yes,
That's
you
what
do.
I'm
But you got, I mean,
Yeah, I
but
know.
there's all kinds of things, there's shift differential depending on the shifts you're working and, you know.
Depends on your,
And that's not including overtime, like, so there's salary positions, but anything over 8 hours a day is overtime rate. And, you know, you get good vacation and, you know, there's. I mean, I can pull some contracts about like neighboring departments, but the problem is there's not too many departments out there that are just 1, 2, 3, 4-man departments, but I can pull some contracts from other departments so you can get an idea of what other places are offering.
We budgeted, I just looked at it, $157,000 for the police for this year, and we've spent $149,000.
And
So that's the biggest chunk of our budget.
that's not just salaries, there, right?
No, that's
That's
everything.
equipment, salaries.
Yes, but it's the biggest chunk of our budget.
That's, I think that's everywhere's.
Yes.
Yeah,
And it's like to have to go more than that, then we have to take away from, you know, other areas, and I mean, our streets need paved, and I certainly don't want to raise taxes to pay for this. It's like, it's just,
All we could do is what Tommy's saying, you know, just put it out there, see what they would be willing to, an hourly rate to work for, and then say, yes, that, we might be able to work that out, or no, we can't
The
afford
problem is
that.
how
I
do you
mean, what do you have
advertise
to
that?
lose?
How do you advertise that?
Should we
Hey,
ask
come
Victor
apply to
first?
Renovo Police
Salary
Department. Yeah, that's what you
negotiable.
want. Like,
To come back full-time,
it's gonna have to be some
Right?
kind of salary range. We have
Salary
to have
negotiable.
better salary, what are we paying now?
18,
no.
I think.
Look there.
I thought we voted the last
Yeah,
time for
he
$20 last time.
Last I knew it was 18.
Yeah, he's at 18.
No, but I mean for the new guy,
He's at
when we were
18. I mean
gonna
for Victor.
advertise just now, not Victor.
Yeah,
When we talked about doing the advertisement, I thought we did bump that up to $20.
No, I
No,
put
it was
18.
18.
I
And
think
it was because of when we did our budget last year, we do set the rates for employees and any current or future hires, we do set them out because we have to try to figure out, you know, how much we're spending, so.
Yeah, for 25, 30.
No, like you said, start
Were you
with.
trying to ask me a question?
I'm trying to
Oh, okay, sorry.
ask, if I may ask a question.
Go ahead.
Here's an outside the box, but you work with the school, Lock Haven University, Mansfield's not that far away. They have programs to train these people. Would it be possible for you to introduce yourself or someone from the committee here and go there and to ask them what they're looking for? Because they're going to school, they want to do this the rest of their life, but what are their aspirations? What are these kids looking to do? And that might help you look at it from another angle. I mean, you're a full-fledged officer, but maybe the kids in school today going to be a police officer are looking for something.
We just talked about that.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're looking. People are looking. They want money and they want benefits.
And we'd have to train them. Whether they come out of the academy or not, they still gotta be trained here.
Lock Haven doesn't have a police academy anymore. That's been done for a lot of years. I think Mansfield does one a year now.
Who's gonna train them?
We have,
Yeah, even once they come out of the
Approach
academy
Mansfield.
with their 7 months of training, there's still 6 months to a year on the job training that should be.
So, and you're not gonna be a full-time police officer here?
I don't know.
Oh, I mean, because I could be an option too, right?
It can be.
I-
We're not at that point yet.
All I'm saying is right now I'm part-time, and at part-time, there would be no way for me, it would take me 6-8 months to get a brand new guy at the academy to try to get him up to speed.
And then once you get them going, then they leave.
Yeah, you know, the other option is too, and a lot of places are starting to do this. The other option is the budget to pay to send someone to the academy. But then you have them sign a contract saying that like, hey, if you're not here for so many years,
They do that for nurses.
if
I
you're
mean,
not here,
places.
if you're not here
That's a
for
good
so many
idea.
years, you have to pay the borough back the money for the academy, pay the money back for equipment, whatever. I mean, I don't know what the logistics are, but a lot of places do that. Like,
You get some people that'll jump on that and take it, and then, but you're still gonna lose them after that contract.
yeah, but then maybe
Get
not.
6
But
years or
every
something
year or
like
two,
that.
then you offer it
Like
again.
the military.
I mean, maybe not.
Maybe not with the nursing staff.
Yeah, I mean,
You're getting,
maybe.
your nurses are jumping, whoever has the highest sign-on bonus, that's where they're going. They're staying there their 2 years, usually getting their money, and then moving on.
Let's go this route. Do you want to offer Victor yes or no for starters? And I mean,
Yes,
I don't think
because
we
he's
should
a current
advertise to get a
employee, doesn't
full-time
need to be
anybody.
trained. Yes,
know,
let's
until
offer it
he's
to
offered.
Victor first.
And more money.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still kind of picking at a few guys that were showing some interest for like 1 or 2 days a week, but you know.
We'll throw that out there that we'd like to sit down, you know, like talk figures that it's not really set in stone and see what, you know.
No, I think it's, there's just so, and the thing is there's this new Act 57 out, which is a new act. There's all kinds of new requirements now we gotta follow. Which I was talking to Stuart briefly about some of that stuff. So now there's more extended background checks you gotta do now, and it's just, so hiring is also another thing. But yeah, I definitely think that I'll try to get some guys to even come in and just maybe have a sit down what we can or can't offer. I'm having, like I said, nobody really wants to I don't even think you even need to even have an application for it. Maybe we just get a couple of guys that are interested, have to sit down, meet with the police committee, say this is what we're looking for, what do you think, and then go from there. I do have one guy interested in coming and going a ride along to see what's going on, so I'm trying to set that up. We'll see, but I mean, it's not going well.
Will we make him full-time at the beginning of the year? But, or now?
I'm waiting for one of you guys to come up with an idea.
Well, the thing
Change
is,
his
I know
pay,
he
you
took
wanna
that
offer him
position
full-time?
because of the tuition benefit for his.
Victor's not the kind of guy that's just gonna leave somewhere.
That
up and
changed,
leave him.
Well, with
If anything,
all
if
that
I-
going on with them
if
combining
anything,
schools and.
If anything, it'd be the beginning of the year in my book, because Victor's not just gonna up and leave and say, hey, you guys got 2 weeks, especially with shorthanded as they are. He's just not that kind of person.
Yeah.
I don't think we should put him in that position where,
No.
okay, I think the beginning of the year would be appropriate to try to get him to start if he's gonna, but if he's not gonna, we really gotta start. Now, I know, I mean, I have no problem, I can go to some of the academies and tell them we're looking for a full-time employee, offer what we're gonna offer to them, and we've done that. I've done that with other agencies as a recruiting effort to try to get, you know,
It'd be nice to have them sign a contract.
you find out the academies that are getting, you know, they only have like a month or 2 or 3 months left, and then you talk to them and, hey, we're gonna be hiring, leave some applications there and get some interest. But I really can't go out and do any recruiting until we have a little sit down ourselves and decide what we're willing to offer. For that reason.
And then you would be doing the training? I thought that was a question along.
What we'd have to end up doing is at that point, we would have to, basically between me and Victor, hopefully try to give him a 40-hour work week between the two of us, you know, to get him.
With Victor, that's not gonna happen right now.
Not right now, but I mean, here's the thing, even if we're in the academies now, we're not gonna have nobody on board at the beginning of the year anyway full time. There's all these other things you gotta get done, and, you know.
Right.
My target goal would be to have a full-time guy by the beginning of the year. Part-time guys that are already trained, you know, you can do that pretty quickly. That's just a matter of some paperwork through Harrisburg and on the computer. It's like as quick. It took me 2 days to get Victor recertified. So if they're already certified somewhere, it's pretty quick. But a new hire, it's going to take some time.
When are we looking at the budget for next year?
Well, probably this month, we're gonna have to
September.
sit down. We usually start the process and brainstorm.
What I was thinking is come up with an amount to pay Victor, come back full-time, not just sit here tonight and come up with an amount.
Yes.
Like sit
And then
down
we'll
with the
bring it,
budget.
how about if we meet before September 29th, when we have our special meeting the 29th,
And then we can
we'll
go
present it.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
Yeah, there's going to be other things that we need to discuss anyway to make sure we're in compliance with a lot of the stuff that we should be in compliance with. That may cost money here or there, so, I think we need to, as the police committee and myself, need to get together and figure out some things in the near
We'll try to do
future.
that before the 29th. I do. Next week's out. Don't even ask me about it. Don't even ask me about next week. I have a free night. Every night.
Alright, so, what do you decide?
Well, we're gonna
We're
be.
We're gonna report back to
Someone
September
talk to
29th.
Victor, just feel him out and see.
I have,
Okay.
and I think he's waiting on certain things to happen or not happen, but that's, you know, I think
Well, we would give him first dibs or first choice, just so he knows that, you know, because he is already our officer, and it's less paperwork and red
well,
tape.
there's nothing to do.
Yes,
Okay,
It's a promotion.
yes.
It's a promotion. We start from within.
And you said there's no place for advancement here. A
alright.
little bit.
Can we wait until September 29th to make that decision?
Only a few
Okay.
weeks.
I think by then, I think he said by the middle of September, he would hopefully let me know what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah, he ain't just gonna up and leave them.
Oh, no.
He's a good guy.
We would take him back full time, but we just have to figure out in the amount.
How to do it so that it,
And so that we can, also include a couple part-time officers, chief.
Yeah, put them in the budget somehow.
Yeah.
Alright. Good. Now we're going to executive. I can let you here for a minute.
okay, we're done. I read it, I'm like, oh, and then I went on, so. Okay, all right.
What's our executive session about?
Oh, it's always about, well, we'll go out here because listening ears.
Well, they still have to announce what it's about. No, they don't do that. That's what they do. That's the action. That's the sunshine act.
This is what they do. But anyhow, I may have an opportunity to go to DCNR's office in Harrisburg on Monday.
Okay. What's that going to do?